Hello, friends. Scarboro here with another show on the Supernatural Dogman. And to get things going, here's a quick little video to get you in the mood for Dogman. Scary Dogman down in Jersey. Evil. We've been talking about the Lake Ontario Dogman. Now that I had nothing we'd have planned with some interesting flight attacks. Lucky to get out alive. Yeah, so you want to think you're capable of hunting down the Dogman? Folks, you know who you are. No name. You're on here every week talking about, and not only the Dogman, but the Sasquatch, dude, you're out looking for them. Why? You really want to see them? Are you ready? I faced off the Dogman without any weapon. First time I encountered him, it was a shock. Just like in this video. There's pictures of the Dogman and the cloaked Dogman. Check it out, folks. I'll be right with you in a minute. Okay, 1 sec. Yes, fairies are real. I've seen them a couple times. Usually in orb shape. Okay. Sometimes they morph into the actual body shape. Right on. Right. Don't worry about that. He's fine. Check it out, folks. Eye shine. I think it still looks better on a smaller screen. We'll put a smaller screen. Bigger isn't always better. You can see more detail. Eye shine there in the middle. You can see the snout, the head, shape of the head in the trees. Yeah. Dogmen like trees for cover, camouflage. Not too often you see them out in the open. They're always around trees. Okay. We know that. your own Dogman Encounter? Anyone? Or live or on the chat here? Or you write in the comments after? You want to talk about it? Didn't quite understand what you've seen that day? Right? What's your cool? Scarboro has 50 plus years of experience with cryptids and paranormal. Right? Just because we're not on here every week bragging about this and that, we don't need to. We've been there, done that. Okay? It's the people who haven't been there are bragging every week about looking for the Dogman. We don't need to look for the Dogman. We've seen the Dogman multiple times. Okay? A lot we don't share on here. For your own safety. Okay? You want to be foolish enough to go out and look for them. Right? That we have to protect against. Okay? You know, no. We're in Canada. We don't carry guns in the woods unless we're hunting for game, meat, put on the table, right? Deer, venison, whatever you call it, moose. I don't hunt myself. I don't own a gun or a knife, buck knives, or anything like that. I wouldn't carry any of that, right? Because I'm not out looking for the Dogman in the woods, right? The Dogman found me each time, right? Which is strange. But it happens, folks. It happens. All right. Thanks. All right. We're back here. Let's get rid of this. All right. My name is Tom Scarboro, and we're here to talk about the Supernatural Dogman Hunter. That's me. I've been looking for the Dogman for information on what happened during my encounters. I was attacked by the Dogman twice in one day after seeing him for 3 days in a row. On the last day, I got attacked. Well, no, I was attacked the first day and the last day. So multiple attacks. Yeah, was I foolish to go back, have another fucking visit? Right? Well, because God gave us dominion over these creatures. Right? I didn't want to give up that parquet, right, to this creature, right? Like, I stood my ground, right? Because God said we have the right over these creatures, right? Dominion, okay? That's all I knew at that time, back in 97, right? Was I right or wrong? I don't know. Got to ask God himself, right? Right. I didn't make the rules. He did. Okay. I was only following, whatever. I didn't want to give up this. I didn't see the big, home sweet home sign there. That's the Dogman. I talked to the owners of the park, of the mountain bike trail there, of course, in this little parkette on the shores of Lake Ontario. Yeah.
But really and truly, it belongs to the Dogman.
No, he was a visitor. Okay, he didn't live there.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
I don't know where he came from. He came from off the shore. I seen him. He always came from the same direction, from a westerly direction, right? Never from the east. He always came from the west. I even looked. I couldn't walk too far down the shore past the park because I was by myself. I had no one to watch my back. Okay, something happened. How to say, at least in the parkette where I was, I had two people come by during the attack there and witness the attack. So probably saved my life in the process. So and I didn't go more than 10 feet when I walked past that park to look down the shoreline, right, to see if there's where this guy came from, if there's some kind of cave or even a handler, some kind of government operative or something. Who knows, right? MIB operatives, whatever. I took all that into account. All right. I was looking for a cage, and somebody released this creature, this Wolfman. Right. That's what I called it at the time, the Wolfman. And he looked like a Wolfman. Not quite a werewolf. It was in afternoon, sunny afternoon in a hot July afternoon. Okay. Right. Yes, we're 420 here, folks. 420 friendly. Don't get your
Fingers in a bunch.
right. We're in Canada. It's legal, my friends. All right. Cheers. Who do we have here? Oh, hello, Miss Sharon. How are you today? How you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Through the veils and scales, all is allowed. Yes.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello,
yeah.
Sharon.
Hello. Hello, Sharon. How you doing today? All right. Yeah. We've had a snowstorm for 3 days in a row. It's up to our knees or more.
Yeah, we have a lot of snow.
Right. Hasn't stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mandela effect is over. Right. Philadelphia Eagles won that Super Bowl, changed everything back to normal. Now we're getting snow. We weren't getting snow for a couple years there, past couple years. Yeah. Nothing hardly. Just a light dusting here and there, right?
Yeah.
That's why, yeah, for sure. Incredible. All right. Yeah, we're going to be talking today about the Dogman. Right on. Right. Hi, Heather. Yes, getting blasted here also. I seen that.
Yep.
We seen that. Right on.
Yep.
Yeah. I know you're way up there in the upper UP there, Upper Peninsula. You know, have you seen anything or sensed anything strange up there? That's pretty. What is it? Lake Superior?
Yeah, because I've been to Michigan
Yeah.
in the summertime.
Right. I'm talking about out in the sticks there in the country.
I've been to the country.
Yeah. Great. Myself, I've only been through Detroit there on our way to Florida.
That's what I was doing.
Right.
Exactly.
I always wanted to visit the Upper Peninsula. That's an amazing place. I've been on Lake Superior on the northern side there on what is it called? Ontario? Yeah, northern Ontario there, going through Lake of the Woods on that side. Yeah, incredible the view in the lake. Yeah. Mind you, though, one time we're going through once or twice we had to go. You know, I'm returning back from out west there, Alberta, Calgary, Alberta, British Columbia, Vancouver. And it was scary, man. Ice on those cliffs. Yeah, it was a scary time in the middle of winter coming back. Wow, it freaked me out. Right.
I've never been there in the winter.
Scary adventure there, traveling up
summer.
Right. Yeah, and had some strange experience there once or twice. Right, I'll be talking about later in my book. Right, had something strange happen several times on the bus and stuff to do. Yeah, for sure. What's that? I camped once all alone in my car and yes, sensed something outside to the point of waking up a bit unsettled. Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
For sure. Right. Yeah. I don't know. In the past, I'm telling you, back 80s, 90s, right? Even early 2000s, you could go camping. You wouldn't be thinking about any of that stuff. No. Even myself having encounters, you know, that was only minimal. This would be about 15, 20% of my mind at any one time of seeing one of these creatures, right, while camping. Whether, you know, I only camp in provincial parks, right? But that still don't stop them from visiting, you know? You can still have an encounter in a provincial park. It makes no difference, right? In that or going to a friend's cottage or something. But yeah, I've had all kinds of experiences, right? But one time, yeah, I heard some vocalization. It was so loud. And it literally knocked me right off my lawn chair. It was strange. I was in a triangulation, right, where I was overlooking a lake. And The Sasquatch was on my left side. Some joker was on the right side with a loud horn,
Huh.
aggravating the Sasquatch across the bay of the lake, and somehow the vocalization came directly towards me. I was getting the action from both sides, but a couple of those screams, and then especially the one scream, holy smokes, man! My whole body was reverberating, man. Like, it happened like 2-3 times in that one day in a row, and the third one was so loud. That guy, the guy who was the bullhorn, he shut up. I didn't hear him again all afternoon. Right? But for some reason, instead of going across and hitting him, it came directly across the bay, like, hit me in my chair, man. I'm sitting on a lawn chair, overlooking this, listening to this stuff, right? I was up elevated, and boy, I'm telling you, I was vibrating for about 20 minutes after, man. My body, I was still shaking. It tumbled everything inside of me, like, yeah, no word to lie. I got knocked right off my lawn chair onto the ground. That's how powerful. After that, I felt guilty. I went and made a long distance phone call. I called my friend up who was asking me for about a year and a half to come investigate his property for a Sasquatch there that was harassing his family, right? A couple Sasquatch there, and I went down and investigated the next day, whatever, and that. So that's another tale in itself. That was incredible. I had an encounter at that site, and that was in Lindsay, Ontario. I had some strange things happen there in Lindsay. There, some kind of strange UFO light, and and also the Sasquatch. Their sacred portal was there. So that's incredible, right? Thank you, Sharon, for sharing that. Yeah, you gotta. We always have to be careful now when we go camping. Now that we know more, right? When I was a kid, let's say, I knew about Sasquatch since I was young, 10 years old, 8 to 10 or something. I seen it on the Mike Douglas show, right? The Patterson film, right? Right? He was on there talking. He was a guest, right? I think it was about 1973. I might have seen it. I can't tell you before. If you search the internet, you might find it. Good luck. But I watched it too. But the first time I ever watched it, right? Like, I'm just a kid, about 8, 9 years old, and I knew right away. I said, that's a real creature, right? Like, I didn't know anything else or whatever. That's the first time I said, wow, right? And then, the $6 million man. They had, the Andre the Giant playing Sasquatch. They're running around, and he looked pretty convincing, but nothing like the Patty film, right? Then years later, about 10 years later, when I was about 19, I started hearing rumors about it might not be real or something. I'm like, what? Are you for real? And then, more rumors later on, and this and that, and someone claiming they did that without any photo proof. Okay. All they had to do was have one Polaroid showing they had the suit and the, whatever, and then beside, whatever, standing with the suit, put on the suit, whatever, nothing. Just claims that they were so-and-so, or they studied that walk for 10 or 20 years. I don't care. Maybe you were, maybe you weren't, right? You tell me you didn't take one Polaroid picture, right? 1 or 2 there to prove that, years later that's you. And then you claim you didn't get paid for what you did. Like, baloney. Right? Yeah. You got to let it rest, right? Without the photo proof, you just bury it. Okay? It's bunk. Okay? Whether real or not, it doesn't matter. Okay? Myself, I get a message from that, right? It's not just Patty. There's other things going on, right? To me, it's just disinformation half the time. Okay, a lot of people, even today, when people are claiming this and that, they're leaving out important stuff. they're only focusing on Patty. There's more to Sasquatch, right? Sasquatch is in a interdimensional realm, okay, and occasionally steps out into our world to say hello, okay. But first and foremost, Sasquatch is an interdimensional being. That's what I was told. First time I had my encounter. Second time they appeared as flesh and blood and told me, yes, they told me they are interdimensional beings. So you take what you want from that, you know. All right, where are we here? Right. Okay, hold on. I lost track here. Yeah, all right, we already been there. Okay, right on. Okay, next. I have always went in the woods alone and not even tell anyone when I was young. I never gave anything of danger a thought. That's right.
Same here. Same
Right?
here.
Other
Same
than
here.
bears, you know, I always had a fear of bears for some reason.
Same here. Bears.
When I was young,
Yeah.
for a long time.
Same here.
I always had to think, but I never ran into a bear, except when I went out to BC or a time up in Ontario there. Oh man, not Killbear, the other one north of there. I have to look it up. I can't remember right now. I took the wrong turn. I didn't even have my flat. Instead of a left, I took a right and I walked right to the dump there where all the bears were. But they were busy with the garbage instead of me. Okay, and I slowly back walked away. Yeah, I knew better than to run. You never run, right? Even during one of my encounters, it was Sasquatch out west. I turned and took a couple quick steps. I didn't run, but I took a couple quick steps away, and then I stopped. And I said, whoa, you don't get to see one of these things every day, right? So I turned around and went back and faced the fucking music. Yeah. I had a stare down with Sasquatch for about a minute, minute and a half. I had about a 10-minute, I don't think it was 10 minutes, about 5-7 minutes encounter, right? But including about a minute, minute and a half stare down that I lost. I blinked first. Sasquatch didn't blink, right? That's cool. Yeah. I said maybe wolves or, you know, like I said, bears or wolves, you know, where I camp, maybe the odd deer, right? Or a moose. You have more danger of a moose or a deer hitting your car, you know, as you're, you know, driving on the highway, right? I've seen a couple vehicles crushed by a moose just minutes up ahead of us, right? One time I heard the incredible, it was, oh man, where were we? Near, what's that place called? Lake Nipissing. On the way there to go fishing, we heard an incredible hit, right? That demolished the car. I don't know how those people survived, but they did, right? They actually survived, right? Right, the impact and demolish the front end of the car. Lucky the moose didn't. Most of the time, the moose will flip over and land on top of your roof of your car and crush you, or a pickup truck, whatever, and crush you. Okay, they weigh a ton or two, whatever it is, right? That's where the damage is done, right? If you're wearing your seatbelt and you have airbags, you should most likely survive. But it's because, you know, they're tall. So when, you know, it's the impact of hitting. Hopefully you just clip them and they walk off, right? You know, that's your best scenario. You know, stuff happens, right? Heather, don't walk in front of the camera. Jesus.
There's only one person on there.
Don't matter. Don't fucking do that.
I totally forgot.
Fuck, man.
I was thinking.
I don't care. Don't fucking do that.
Sorry.
You did that last time too, okay?
Sorry,
Don't fucking do that. I'm on live.
I forgot.
Just a minute, please. I'll be right back.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sorry, I apologize for that indiscretion.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Shouldn't have happened. I already warned.
I already sorry.
Okay. All right, just check this out. I'll be right back in 1 minute. Oh. Hello? All right, I got it. Hold on. All right, let's take that off. Oh, okay. Something's wrong with it. All right. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, sorry. Didn't mean that to happen. All right. I know. I'm going to have to edit it out before it goes on the, after the show's over. Anyways, let's get back to what we're doing. Talking about, when you're camping, right? Like I said, here in Ontario, the biggest fear we had was, maybe a bear or a wolf running into your site or whatever, encountering. Now, those are the least of your worries, right? Now we're more worried about Sasquatch and more so Dogman, who have been proliferating in the last 5-10 years, right? Sasquatch might have what, maybe 1 or 2 kids a year if they're lucky. Right. 1 or 2 kids, once a year. Not sure if it's the same gestation period during the pregnancy as a human. It's close, I think. They carry. But I think they also have kids a certain time of year only. Right? I heard in the fall for some reason, or I could be wrong. Right? That's what I heard. I don't have too much experience on that myself. I only heard about in the fall from several people. Right? It makes sense. But, remember these things, most I always thought, I thought most creatures have their young here mammals type, in the spring. So they have a whole summer to get bigger, more warmer weather and stuff, more food available than wintertime, right? It would be harsh to survive a winter being born, right? Even for humans, you gotta, bundle up your kids and protect them from the cold and frostbite and all that stuff, especially in cold climates, but unfortunately with humans, we're born at any time of the year, right? 365 days a year. But the Dogman, Wolfman, Dogman, like wolves, they can have a a litter or two a year, easy, and you know, anywhere from 4 or 5 pups up to about 8 or 10, right? How many survive depends. How much food is available, right? Territory, all that. But I noticed the families, they stay together. You'll see 2 or 3 generations, parents, grandparents, parents, young, really young, you know, together, right? So that, you know, whatever. I've been researching this stuff for 10 years now on the internet and stuff, and in person, on you know, boots on the ground, certain areas for the suburban, you know, traces of dogmen in suburbia, right? Hold on. In suburbia, so it happens, right? When I first started, you very rarely seen pictures of the dogman in photos. It was mostly Sasquatch that people were showing. Now, then it became about 50-50, right? You seen that people were misidentifying Sasquatch, uh, misidentifying the dogman as a Sasquatch. And there's also hybrid entities, right? Okay. Then nowadays, it's like 75% of the photos you see are mostly of Sasquatch. 75-80%. Sorry, let me restate that. 75-80% of the photos I view myself feature mostly dogmen, right? And that people, you know, aren't even sure what they're seeing half the time, right? And that they've taken over the woods, you know. Myself, yeah, I had uh, message one time, you know, like a couple times actually, this where Sasquatch told me that they're being forced off their territory there by the dogmen. So, and then the dogmen showed up and took over the area out of spite, I guess, because they were communicating with humans or something. I don't know. There's different kinds of dogmen. Do the dogmen run the woods, the portals, right? I don't know. We're gonna find out one day soon, right? I always thought Sasquatch ran the show. Well, now the dogman's up there. You know, I heard years ago on a show, right? I'm not gonna mention the name because they never contributed to mentioning my name. Okay, on their show very often, right? Other than on the chat line, but stating that, you know, the dogman, same thing, was running the portals. So, but whatever. I believe it. I've seen a lot of photos with portals and dogmen, you know, right? With the dogmen there, right? And the Sasquatch, but mostly dogmen.
Yeah.
So I believe, right? There's more than meets the eye or the ears when you're listening, right? Suburbia here. Occasionally, you know, you get the house. This winter's been really quiet for any action on coyotes.
The coyotes have disappeared.
We've had construction in the area, so maybe they've another route. Maybe they've been taken out. I don't know. Yeah, it happens, right? But you know, over the last 10 years here, you know, every now, not every winter, but you know, every couple winters there, I get heavy action, man. Boom, yeah. Howls right directed at us. Yeah. A couple times, the whole building woke up. Right, the whole building, man. On our side, facing the backwoods, you hear doors opening, windows. What was that? Some incredible howls, right? And that woke us up and shook us up, right? The infrasound. You know, were they aimed at us? I don't know. It seemed like it was aimed at the whole building. The whole building was vibrating from these wolf howls, right? And coyotes don't make wolf howls. Okay, they make coyote howls, right? So, yeah. So we had to kind of lay low, you know, in that during that time period. You know, we didn't want to give away, you know, your neighbors looking at you strange, right? No, like, who are these people, right? And once or twice I did have, seemed like the dogman climbed up the tree and howled right across to our balcony, to our, living room window, through the window there, and shook us right up, man. It was bouncing off the walls, the infrasound, the wolf howl infrasound. Boom, 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 like a pinball machine. Yeah, back and forth in here. And it happened a couple times, right?
Tom, at the end, you would hear another howl, too. That's what
Right.
I always liked, right?
Right.
Is at the very end when the coyote stops, then you get the...
I didn't even get a chance to record it or anything. And it happened like, whatever. It was just happened so fast. And I don't know if I even had my camera working then or whatever, And then I think it was right before I got my first camera to start filming. I was doing it only using my laptop at first to research and the internet, and all that. And then I got, phone. You had to wait for technology to catch up, right? So you had some half decent quality, gear to go out, right? Now there's all kinds of amazing technology, but why aren't we seeing incredible photos? Why is it we see more stuff on that shaky camera stuff back years ago with lower quality? A lot of it was 360 or 420p, right? Hold on, Heather, right? Lucky if you got it 720 and it was grainy and distorted, this and that, and you had to, yeah. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of videos that were low quality, but had footage. But unfortunately, people will say, "Oh, the quality's not good enough, so it wouldn't stand as proof or anything," right? But still, you learn, you see, you learn, right? Didn't matter. That's all we had. Today, yeah, we got 4K and 1080p and 4K regular in our videos and photos and all that, right? And still, there's so much going on now with all this technology. Why are people switching to AI to promote their shows and show photos, fake photos, and this and that? With all this great technology, why aren't they out there, trying to get a photo or use somebody else's photo or that like they used to? Like myself, I use whatever, either a sketch drawing, like in the background from Show Me Sasquatch, yeah, right. Mark there, yeah, Show Me Sasquatch. He drew that. So he's an amazing artist, right? Incredible artist. Or your own photos. I tried to put up my photo earlier here 3 times. I had to restart because they shut me down. My photo was too real or something, right? I filmed that myself, one of my photos, right? I had to start, so I didn't even put up a photo. Okay, I have to do that later in editing. I got tired. I had to, takes you a while to, and you write all this information, then I have to start over. And I just said, forget it. I'll never get started before 12 o'clock. And I wanted to start early. Okay, anyways, we're going to get back to the show here on the encounter I had. Okay, 1 second, please. Great, 1 minute. Of when I got attacked. We're talking about the infrasound, bouncing off the apartment, and that one winter 2 years ago, I went out to film, right? I heard the howling, and out my balcony door, I go out to film, and boom, I'm standing out in the middle, and boom, I got hit by the infrasound. And I was sick for about a week, 10 days. It took me to get over this infrasound. It hit me hard, okay? It hit me real hard. No, I don't care what people think. It hit. And it shook me up. So after that, when I went out to film, right, it didn't happen. It didn't want me filming that night. Okay. So, but this time I got smart. Now I would only peek around the corner first to make sure it was safe. Try and sense if there's anything coming up my way, any infrasound waves aimed this way. You could feel slight vibration and whatever. No, then I'd edge out more and more, a little more, but I wouldn't go too far from my door, man. I learned that lesson. Before I'd be way out there trying to look for the best vantage point to film. Not anymore. No, after that, and it really hurt. If you've ever been hit by infrasound, you would know afterwards when it happens again and again. Okay, it happens more often. People don't realize when they do get hit by infrasound, when they're in the woods, they think it's something else. They might have eaten something, or just, oh, it's just a body ache or something. No, if something's being directed at you to try and get you to go a different route, a different pathway, whatever, right? And it happens more often than you realize, right? To try and keep you away from a certain area. All of a sudden you're getting a weird feeling. Yeah, I'll go this way. Subconsciously, your mind says, let's go this way, right? It's weird how that happens, but it happens more often than you know, right? Your mind says, no, let's take route B or C. Let's take the high road instead of the low road, right? You know, and it happens. It happens a lot, right? It's almost like some, unless you're open to telepathic communication, mind speak, right? A lot of times it's ESP or premonition. Your gut's telling you no, and that's dangerous or something, right? If you're lucky, you know, you can go the other way. Okay, hold on a sec. Right on. Good, you can fix it. Right on. Yeah. Farmers are having problems with young being born under all these weather pattern changes. Yes, of course. Of course. Right. That's what I'm saying. A lot of times it's to keep you away, you know, the infrasound from their nesting sites, you know, for sure. If it's an active site, yeah. And they'll do whatever it takes to keep you away, right? And they'll intensify that infrasound so that you do not stumble upon that nesting site. They'll vacate. You might go back later. They'll have vacated, right? And so you might be able to see something, habituation, or structures, or you know, the ground was trampled down, or something they were laying down, something certain, you know, stick signs, glyphs, whatever, all kinds of things. Would you find bones of, you know, carcass of animals or something? I think they dispose of those away from their nesting sites, right? Because you don't get too many people. I've seen hundreds and hundreds of pictures this year, past year, of nesting sites or structures, but you never see a dead carcass of an animal anywhere near those sites. Okay, anywhere. I think they eat these animals, like, you know, like the coyotes who scramble out and, you know, they find something and they're all yipping and yapping. It's, you know, dinner time, you know, blah, blah, blah. They found a rodent or a gopher or something. Heaven forbid it's somebody's pet, you know, but it happens, right? You got to protect your animals if you have one, right? Stuff happens, right? I guess, you know, the animals run the show in the woods, right? That's their homes. So, right? Can you blame them if they attack a human pet or something? If it's wandering in the woods, no. I think it's fair game, sort of, right? Just like, you know, if one of these animals stumble into the city, it has to face off against a car, you know, same thing, you know. The car's going to come out on top, right? Whereas in the woods, they're running the show. It's their homes. We're only visitors, right? Can't have it both ways, I guess. We have tried to eliminate. We have eliminated wolves and cougars, you know, big predators. Occasionally now, there might be cougars here in our area, in Ontario. There's always sightings. People all have them as pets too, and sometimes release them. Unfortunately, they do. Yes. Coffee's staining my fucking teeth here.
Good.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you, Heather, for the coffee.
No.
Cheers, folks.
Cheers. Cheers.
I just brushed my teeth too. Sorry, where's my cloth? Okay. Anyways, we'll play one video and get ready to talk about the right. What do we got here? Yes. Listen to a bunch of hungry young ones when the food is brought to them is unsettling. Yeah, it is. I've heard it's here, you know, where the nesting sites are, the coyotes, right? But you also have the dogman, or well, then also there's coy wolves, a mix of coyote and wolf, right? Sometimes I've taken some weird pictures at night, you know, strange, not weird, but strange, weird, and weird. One looked like a chow dog, man, in amongst these coyotes, right? You know, can some of these bigger dogs run with the packs? Are they wild, or is it a mix? Is it a hybrid mix? You have weird features. I've shown it on my channel several times in videos, like I think even on the shorts. That, yeah, at nighttime, you know. So, you know, well, it's edited, but still, you see the features. One has the classic coyote wolf head, you know, and the one beside it has the what do you call those? Mastiff or chow, big chow dogs. Yeah, type of face. I'm like, wow. You know, is that a real, you know, dog, or is that a hybrid? You know, a hybrid, like, a mix, dog and coyote or whatever, just something gone wild. Who knows? I don't know. Right? And you'd have to catch them and find out if you can. Unfortunately, I've also heard, gunfire. You know, every couple of years you hear gunfire down in the woods there, where these creatures, are hiding out. The coyotes pack, right? But this time was that more like sounded like the dogman this time. And did they eliminate, a male and female dogman? I heard about 5 shots, spaced about 3 or 4 days apart. I think maybe 5 days. No, it wasn't five. It was about 3 or 4 days apart. Yeah, it's like they got one and then they got the other. Five shots, right? Each time it was five, a whole clip, 5 shots, right? Each time, yeah, and there was nothing else, just bang, 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 and I heard it loud and clear. I don't know, I had it on my other phone, but I lost all that footage. Right, I filmed that. I couldn't believe it. I got one of the nights, okay, the 5 shots. I said, what the heck was that? And then mysteriously my phone, after I lost the footage, the phone died on me, so I couldn't recover. I tried to recover it a couple times. Oh, what a nightmare. I had to get a new battery and everything. It wouldn't work. Phone was old. I took too many pictures. I took, oh man, 70,000 pictures. I filmed a bunch of videos. And that was a good phone, man. That was an iPhone 6. It could have used better quality cameras, sure, but it did amazing work for a little phone, man, which I got for free. So, and I learned on it, and that to film and all other stuff, record this, that, right? Yeah, that was about half a dozen years ago, at least 7, 8 years ago. So that was handy, man. It was. That was fantastic, right? Technology to go with home computers and that. Like today, it's costing more and more money to do research and to put up a show. It just keeps going up and up, right? But and now we're all inundated with AI images are taking over, AI stories and presented by AI voices, and oh gosh, and what else? AI images. I said that everything. Live voices are rare, are getting fewer and fewer between, right? You know, it's important to hear the live voice, okay? Because then sometimes you can detect things in the voice when they're telling you the encounter, right? You can sense fear, trepidation, uh, other things, maybe deceit. Maybe they're not being honest about something, Maybe I'm not saying they didn't have the encounter. They probably They most likely did have the encounter, but just they're not presenting the whole facts. They're omitting things. Okay, whether it's part of the encounter, they don't want to delve into the woo. I don't blame them. You know, just because we did that and we paid a price for talking about the high strangeness. Okay, good luck, Heather. All right, be safe out there. Watch out for the snow drifts. All right. All right. Yeah. I'm not competing here with anyone, you know. I'm on here by myself, trying to tell you, you know, facts, not fiction, about Dogman. I don't care, right? You know, and sure, it's nice to be, you know, popular and this and that, but at what expense, right? People don't want to hear the truth. They're afraid of the truth, okay? And I don't blame them. You know, it's scary stuff sometimes, right? Most people want to pat themselves on the back and say, I knew that wasn't true, right? Just to feel safer, right? But, you know, it's better, you're better to know than not to know. Like me, I didn't know. I did not know there was a Wolfman, right? I never heard of a Wolfman, a legit Wolfman running around, okay? When I had my encounter, I knew of Sasquatch, right? And that's probably what saved my ass, because I had a couple encounters already since I was a teenager. You know, it's been a dozen years or so going by or more. And surprise, here we are, facing off with a dogman charging at you, you know, closing fast. And you got to think, what am I going to do? What am I going to effing do? You don't have time to realize that he might not be real, or you tell yourself, well, that ain't real. I'm hallucinating. No, you're not. That thing's coming in fast, right? At a steady pace. And guess what? He's going to be on top of you, biting, scratching, whatever. He's got teeth, sharp teeth that you can see. He's got sharp claws, hands and feet, right? He's going to hurt you, okay? And you better get up and do something about this right now, or you're going to be in big hurt in a big kind of way. You're going to be hurting in a big kind of way real fast, okay? No word of lie, okay? These creatures mean business. If they see an advantage over you, they'll take it. If you're wounded and hurt, yeah, they might take it, that advantage, right? And I thought, oh, yeah, they're going to just cart you off. You weigh more than they do, right? On this case, you know, I was bigger than that creature, but still, you don't know how strong he really is, what he can do. And then later I realized he doesn't have to take all of you. He only has to take a part of you, right? He doesn't need to take all of you, right? That's what's scary. He only has to take a piece of you, you know, like most animals will take your liver, or, you know, your internal, your organs, where all the protein and vitamins are, right? Not the fucking skin and bones. What's he going to get off that? He's going to chew on the bone? No, he needs sustenance fast, right? Because remember, a wolf is a predator, right? A coyote is a predator, right? A dogman is a predator, okay? Sasquatch is a predator, right? They're not humans. They're predators. Even humans prey on animals for sustenance. We're hunter-gatherers, right? You must get your food some one way. All right, now we're sophisticated today and advanced to the point of, you go with your credit card to the corner store or the grocery store and get your food. It comes from a factory now instead of the woods for a majority of folks, right? But for other folks, no. They get sustenance from the woods, whatever's available, whatever they can eat, you know, right? I'm not against hunters. No, I never have been. So don't get wrong. Just because we don't have guns or this or that, you know, occasionally, you know, you might get gifted a leg, a venison leg from a hunter, you know, that you know. I have. I've cooked them a few times. They were half decent, different, but good. You make stew or whatever, it was good. Actually, I did. Yeah, I was impressed. I think I tried bison burgers before out west one time. Hard to tell, but unless you eat them all the time, right? But I'm pretty sure it was. Right? Some people get them all the time, order them, whatever. I've had friends from Newfoundland, go. The family there, hunters, whatever, get Newfoundland moose. Supposed to be more succulent than regular moose or something. I tried. I forget what it was. I tried some. It was all right, but I said I was not a big fan of that. Right? I don't mind venison sometimes, but not all the time. Right? Once in a while. Haven't had it for years, so more than 10 years. What else? Bear. I won't eat bear. No. I see too many reports of salmonella or whatever, some kind of diseases or what do you call them? Whatever, foodborne illnesses from bear, not cooked properly and functions. And that I would never eat bear. I've known about that for about 30 years. Nah, I don't care how good of a hunter. No, that's not my style. Or any other animal like cougar or wolf or no. I couldn't. No. Groundhog, yeah. Out west they had a lot of groundhogs, and it was good beef. Like substitute for beef, a lot of protein, kept you alive in the winter, right? I know. I don't want to talk about too much. I'm just giving you an example of what is out there for a predator like a dogman to eat, or a Sasquatch. They're going to eat the same things that humans might eat, right? It might have to compete for those sometimes, right? Now, I've heard some encounter stories where, these were like 10 or 12 foot tall, big Sasquatch, right? Thundering fast and, chasing down a herd of elk or bison, not bison, elk or something like that, right? And take one down with their hands, man, and just boom, break its neck and subdue it. And like thundering, like and a hunter witnessed that, like within a short distance. They just couldn't be bothered with him at the time because they had to get their food, right? And he was like within 100. Oh, what did he say? 50, not even 50 yards away from them, right? And seen what happened and the sound of them running and the ground shaking as they're thundering off, chasing after that elk. And the fear, you could tell by the fear and trepidation in his voice. When he's repeating this story, but he probably told it a couple of times. Not too many, he said at that time, well, 2 or 3 times. But you could still sense the trepidation in his voice of experiencing a traumatic experience like that, right? All right. I'll be right back. Hold on. Sorry, I get talking again. Yeah, they're really strange with those talkovers. Yes. Glad you speak your truth. No one can take that from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. I go wild game because my father loved hunting. Same here. We used to go fishing. My dad would take us fishing since we were young, teach us how to fish. And then later on, we would go up north there and go fishing different places. Lake Simcoe, Peterborough, up in Peterborough, the Burley Falls. What was that? Balsam Lake, I think Stony Lake, and Buckhorn Lake. Perry Sound. No, I don't think we went that far to go fishing. Aurelia and the channel there, between the 2 lakes, Lake Couchiching and Lake Ontario. My dad caught a big splake
That's across, what is that? Lake trout hybrid. I've had a couple of muskie on there, and one broke my rod. Had to be over 4 feet, almost 5, closer to 5, 4. And it pulled hard, man. And that was my muskie rod, and it broke it in half. Yeah, that was whatever. And other times I cut my line because I knew I just couldn't bring that in. There's no way. Okay, there's no way to bring that in. Right? Incredible. Yeah, incredible. Right. Like I said, I've never gone hunting. Right. My friends were hunters. Right. A good friend of mine. Right. His dad was a big hunter. They go all the way up to Timmins, and they had a Sasquatch encounter up there. I was supposed to go with them that weekend too. Right. Not hunting just as I keep my friend company. Way up there. And thank God I couldn't go. Something else came. I didn't really want to go. He was bugging me to go. Right. And my friend Kevin, he went instead, and and Sasquatch took one of their bags they had tied up in the tree with the rope. Yeah, got one of them, and the smell, the stench, he said, was everywhere, right? And so he told me about that. And it's funny. I think it was the next year I had my encounter, right? So that's interesting. And I was supposed to go, and I changed it the last minute, And somehow maybe they're waiting for you. They were waiting. I always talked about this before, right? Somehow you're picked, right? They get your number, We want you for whatever reason, right? There's other people say that's wrong, and other people say I'm the chosen one. I don't know. I didn't ask for any of this, but right. But sometimes you get picked, and you have multiple encounters, right? It's not just me; it's other people too, right? For whatever reason, you serve a function. Like here, I didn't know I was going to be on the internet years later, doing research for 10 years, but I wanted answers, and I wasn't getting. I couldn't. I had some difficult times. I couldn't talk to anyone for long periods of time, especially after, what happened in New York. Okay, yeah, it couldn't even make a long distance call. I couldn't. Right, I was getting shut down. Right, and I'm like, great. And then, and then you put everything on the back burner when you don't have anyone to talk about these things, especially on the Wolfman encounters, right? I did not have anyone to talk about these. People just looked at you strange. Like, they did not want to hear it. They accepted sometimes the Sasquatch, Bigfoot, but the other shit, no way. They're like, I think wolves, trigger something in humans going back millennia. Okay, a fear of wolves. Sasquatch, they don't know. Okay, Bigfoot, they don't know. But wolves, they know wolves. Their families know wolves. Their great parents, their great grandparents, their parents, their grandparents, great great grandparents. Go back 1,000 years, right? Knew about wolves. Wolves was the biggest fear for humans. Okay, always. Not lions or tigers or bears. It was wolves, right? Was the most common predator out to get you. And they did. All kinds of horrific attacks and stuff, right? So, now, did the dogman evolve from wolves? Or are they a subspecies? Are they another creature altogether? Their own distinct genetics? Or were they, experimented and created in a lab? Who knows? Is there, I think there's more than one kind of dogman, for sure. I think there's both natural. I think they emerged out of the Ice Age myself, right? As I think as the ice passages opened up there, the wall of ice, passages opened up, they migrated south for more game. And then over a period of time, you know, they flourished here and there. Like I said, I think they flourished more in the past 50 years, 100 years, than they have any time before that. I thought they were very limited in numbers in the past. There was other creatures they had to contend with, and humans were always, you know, out to protect themselves at all costs, right? Especially those flintlocks, you know, they have those big balls there of lead or whatever they were using. Right, that put a big hole in you, right? For sure. I think the Dogman is more susceptible to gunshots than, let's say, a Sasquatch. I think a Sasquatch, you have to hit him probably in the right spot. Whereas a Dogman, I think, would, unless they're built like a Sasquatch, which I'm not saying they're not. There's some big ones out there, for sure. But most of them are, you know, more slender, more what do you call it? More tapered, like lanky, like most of them, right? They're not He-Man out there, you know, like bodybuilders, like most people claim. I doubt that, right? Most of them are just average builds, okay? It's like a wolf standing up, but sometimes their waists are more tapered, smaller, and their chest a little bigger. But they're not in He-Man out there walking around, you know, pumped like you know, the Incredible Hulk. Nah, those might be government experiments, whatever. But most of them, I think, are just, you know, you see all these AI photos, right? You know, bodybuilders on steroids. Now they got with a wolf's head, you know, basically. And no. Wait, show me a body of one of those that look like that, right? In real life. And then I'll believe you, you know. But that's what we're inundated with today, you know. If your Dogman doesn't look like that, he's not scary enough, you know. Everyone asks, what's the scariest thing you've had during your encounter? Tell us. We want to hear the most scariest thing ever. You know? Right? If it was that bad, I would have ran for the hills. Right? But I think they're really cunning creatures, right? All right. Give me a break here for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to put something on for a minute here. I need a break. Okay, 1 second, please. Try to find something half decent. I haven't been able. Come on, show me something half decent. What is this stuff? Let me see. All right, give me a second, please. First image is of a cat person plus the little people. Hold on. Yeah, I've always wanted to visit Japan. You know, I'm reading those when the kids had Newton hunting up there and fishing and whatever. It was an amazing place. I've seen the photos and that was amazing. Thanks, Sharon. Yeah, that's cool. Your dad moved us to the Upper Peninsula of Detroit in 1970. Wow, that must have been like night and day. Right? That must have been great, though. You know, right? Get some clean air, fresh air, instead of the pollution down in Detroit.
Auto plants going three shifts non-stop, 7 days a week. Busy time down there. A lot of factors, a lot of people. Go to a country like that, wow, that must be the name. Also scary, you know. But at the same time, freedom from all these people, freedom to move around. You know. Yes, of course. Thank you, Jim. Of course, right? You get from the concrete jungle there in Detroit, right? Nature. Just like my family, you know, they took us kids, but you know, whenever we're kids, teenagers, made sure we went up north at least every weekend, every summer. Tried to, you know. Fishing. It was funny, yeah. My parents, they loved perch, bass, smallmouth, largemouth bass, and perch, jumbo perch. We used to catch all the time. Lots, yeah. That's what they lived on. They were good, man. They were pretty clean tasting back then. That's why we're still around today, you know. And, yeah. It's just the fun though, going to bring the whole family, spending together, family. Where today it's harder to do stuff. We didn't have electronic games, phones, our hands. We didn't have anything. You had to go to a corner store and put a quarter in, or you know, pinball machine. Back then. Visiting nature was always important. Right? We always did that. We picked different areas to go. Right? We never went always to the same place. We always picked different areas. Right? Had a good time. Parents didn't drink when they went out, you know. My dad never, ever brought food, wine, or anything, I don't think. Maybe once for a party celebration for birthday or something, a small amount. But they never, no beer, nothing like that. Just family, you know. Never got hassled by the cops. Not for anything, you know. Like that. So we were lucky, you know. It was a good time, you know. And you don't have to drive safe. You got the family, whatever. That's it. Sure. Yeah, most sightings, I read that, most sightings are never full for fear they won't be believed. That's right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Right. Well, trust me, I had a hard time. I had PTSD when I once got anxiety. Right, on a live show, and it hit me hard. I made the mistake to put myself there at the scene. You know, I didn't shield myself, and I was reliving the experience over, and it hit me hard. Especially when I was in 20, 25 years, I wasn't able to talk about it. 20 years, I wasn't able to talk about it. It just hit me, wallowed me so hard. I'm so embarrassed too. It was on live. But it happened. See, it takes years of experience of talking to be able to go and talk somewhere and do it on the internet. Right? For sure. That's the hardest one, you know. And that's also, you know,
And a lot of people made fun of me when I was on a couple of shows. Oh yeah, I endure at least 30%, like, you know, negative comments and making fun of me. Right? I remember at the time I was having family illness. You know, I didn't know if I was going to be around. I wanted to get my story out. Okay, and that hurt, man. Reading a lot of those comments, it hurt. Yeah, but I said, whatever. I can't deal with that. You know, I just told my story, whatever best I could. And I said, I'll deal with those comments later. Because, you know, whatever. It's no big deal. Right? I think a lot of people are afraid of what they're hearing, so they make fun of it. Right? I realized that later. Right on. Wow. All right. Hold on a sec. Okay. Get rid of some of this stuff. Remove. Yeah, I'm here. For sure. All right. Give me a second. We're going to talk about my encounter story from 1997. I can't tell you the whole story. It'd take me a week to tell it properly. But I will talk about some of it, about the infrasound attack. You know, that was when I was, for sure. All right. I should get some water. All right. Hold on a sec. I got to get a glass of water. I'll play one more thing here. 1 minute. I'll be right back. I got to get some water for a second. All right. All right. All right. All right, we're back. All right.
here. I'll be with you in 1 minute. This is over. We're going to talk about the Dogman Encounter. All right. So, 1 second. Something here for a second. We'll be right with you. It's almost over. All right. All right. All right, we're here. All right, is this almost over? All right, I'll get rid of it. A minute. Feel pretty good. All right, I put this on to remind me what I seen that day, what I experienced during my encounter. We're going to talk about right. All right, it's over. Dogman hiding in a tree. Always keep, like a sky watcher. Gotta look up and look down. Yeah, look up. See that? Right in the tree. Right between the two trees. That's a Dogman right there. Okay. That's real. That's a real Dogman. And he doesn't look like Hercules or anything or Incredible Hulk, okay? But he's still big. And he can still hurt you. All right. So we're here. We're talking. Yeah, we're talking here. I'm going to shrink this picture somehow. Okay, we're here. Right. I like that picture. Hold on. Yeah, we're talking. The year was 1997. July 1997. I experienced a Dogman. Right? Experienced a Dogman. This was okay. This was on the third day of the encounters. I encountered the Dogman each day. Day 1, day 2, day 3. This is the third day. Same place, always in the afternoon. Right? So I'm just going to pick up where I'm in on the bike trail, mountain bike trail. Right? And I'm still sensing the Dogman when I got to the park, right? He was already there waiting for me.
on this day. The other 2 days he showed up. Okay. On this day, he was already waiting there for me. The third day. And it's crazy because he was actually it's in the backwoods there where the difficult section of the course was, right? Which I couldn't visit because he was partaking that area for himself. I only got to see it on the first day I visited the park before he got there, right? And incredibly, he was moving up closer, you know, where he was about 200 feet away. Now he had moved down to about 90, approximately 90, 100 feet, whatever, away from me, right? On the second day. And now, right, he was only about 30 feet away, max 25, 30 feet away, right? I made sure, right, because I want to stop to view him, right? And I got off on my bike, and I'm looking around. I see my footprints, right, on the ground, right? And I stopped there each time in the same spot, and my footprints were there on the ground, and I could tell from the different days, you know, the crust around the imprint there. Some were more drier, some not, so you could tell the age, right? Each day I stopped, I was standing, and I'm looking, you know, checking them out, observing, you know, taking a good 5-10 minutes to observe them before I got on my bike and pedaled off. But he never chased me, not once did he chase my bike. He always stood his ground, watching, waiting, sometimes pretending he's not watching. Okay, pacing back and forth. Yeah, I didn't understand. He was pacing back and forth a lot. I think he must have dug a trench there, how much he paced. All right. Sorry, I'm taking my time. It's because I'm there and thinking about it, right? You know, what I'm seeing, right? So it takes time, right? I'm looking down. I see my prints. I look over. I see him. You know, I'm at all times. I'm always got one eye on him. You know, I'm not like turning my back and look. No way. No, never turn your back on a predator. Right? I'm watching him. Right? As I'm looking down, I'm also, you know, casually, you know, glancing at him. Right? Back and forth. Right? Because that was important. Right? To let him know that I'm watching you too, buddy. Okay? He was a male, about 6 feet, 6'2", no more. He was at my height. Right? Except he was about $175. I was 250. So I was actually, you know, my shoulders were pretty big and back and muscles and all that. So he was thinking twice, right? I wasn't just a whatever. He knew I had strength one way or another. I could hurt him and probably hurt. And if he got injured, you know, I hear a lot of encounters where, you know, these things are worried about getting injured. Same with wild creatures. If they get injured, that means, you know, the end of them. In the wild, they're going to be preyed upon by their own kind or something else out there, another predator. They'll be targeted. Remember, predators always look for the weak and injured. Okay? Old, weak, and injured. Young, all that. Before they'll tackle a full-strength animal. Right? So, and good luck. All right. Nursing a wound. So while I'm in the woods too, I'm getting a premonition, like where there's a second entity, but I can't see it. And I've tried for 3 days to find this entity, right? There's a flesh and blood creature 30 feet ahead of me, crouching behind a bush, right, with his head and arms and legs sticking out, right? And here I am. I'm also sensing behind me where I just came in off the trail, the open part of the park, the clearing into the woods, right? The difficult section of the mountain bike trail. But I'm still sensing a second party. Not right behind me, but further back, somewhere in the park, right? And somewhere, especially, there was a cliff there. A couple 100 or 200 feet cliff, right? A tall cliff, all right, straight up. And I sensed something there, right? Hiding amongst there. I tried and tried. I couldn't find it, right? Once I thought I seen something. I looked again. I didn't see it, right? But that at first it was up on the cliff or somewhere on that, hiding in a cave or so, I don't know. I looked. I didn't have binoculars, so, and I had gotten out of the hospital, so my strength was only at about 50, 60%, 70% max, right? Each day I was getting better. I was going to the park to work out, right? And I was regaining my strength. So anyways, like I said, I was sensing a supernatural being somewhere, interdimensional, supernatural, right? But on the last day, I was sensing him on the ground somewhere, and I was getting worried, right? Because I had to watch my flank too, and back, and everything. I was by myself. You know, after I already thwarted the one attack coming towards me on the first day, I scared it off. So I had a slight advantage over the creature because he had a slight fear over me because I already scared it off somehow. I knew how. I scared it off, you know, shaking my arms and legs and whatever I had to do and yell loud. I scared it off the first time it was coming to attack me. He wasn't quite sure of himself, so I thought he was maybe pardon me, a young adult or a juvenile, you know, an older juvenile or something. He wasn't quite, you know, the masterful, skillful hunter that he should be yet. You know, he was still learning, it seemed like. Or he wasn't quite sure about me. You know, he thought I was more injured than I was. Right? And when I surprised him. So, anyways, this is on his mind, and I'm also have other things on my mind where, okay, he's moving up closer each time. He came from the backwoods and he's moving up, you know, and he's taking steps closer and closer and closer. He's getting closer. So I know he's getting ready to attack. Now I know how he's got good vision. Okay. He could, you know, he moved up 30 feet, no more than 30 feet away, crouching behind a bush. And I made sure it was at least 25 or 30 feet because I said, if some of these creatures can, you know, pounce like a tiger or even a wolf, if they could pounce even 10, 15 feet, I made sure he didn't pounce on me. Okay. I made sure there was enough distance between the two of us. Okay. So I said, there's no way he's going to make 30 feet in one pounce. Okay. And land on me, surprise me. No, he's going to have to do it twice or run after or something, whatever, even if he's going to sprint. I was worried about the pounce. Okay. For whatever reason, that was on my mind. So next what happens is, right, I'm checking him out, right? He's like a goldy brown color, right, with white patch on his chest. And he's got, you know, green eyes. He's got green eyes, yeah, and ears, right? I could see his eyes. His eyes were mesmerizing. They were so deep green color, you know? not quite emerald green or anything like that, but like almost like an electric green, like really bright green, like piercing green. Like I couldn't believe the eyes. They were incredible. Okay. And what happened is I'm checking him out, right? He's crouched down. His head is above, part of his neck and chest, and that is peeking above the hedge, right? The bush there, and his right arm and right leg were poking out a bit, right? So I'm looking at his leg there, and he subconsciously he sees me looking at it, and he tucks his leg in closer to the bush, right? And he does the same with his arm. Okay, as I'm looking at, I'm like, what kind of wild, a wolf or some other, they wouldn't do that if you're looking at them. They're not going to pull their arm closer to hide it or anything, especially canine, right? I'm like, wow. So he was subconsciously aware of what I'm doing, or he was aware of what I was cunningly aware, right? Of what I was doing there, trying to, gauge how sharp those nails were, I'm checking out his weapons, his nails, his feet, right? His arms, how much muscle he might have, the nails, how long they were, the fingers, right? Can he grab onto me? What can he do, right? And he didn't mind me looking at his face. Okay, he stared right at me, and I stared right back at him for about 10 minutes before I got back on my bike. 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, and I took a good hard look. Okay, and he stayed there, and I went around, did my business around the course, this, that. I came back, and there he was again, still sitting there waiting for me. I was saying, oh gosh, not again. I was hoping he would move on, but no, he's waiting. So I know now. Same thing. I'm looking, checking him out. I'm staring hard, right? I stare right into his eyes, right? That green. I just see those two green balls of green, almost lit up, almost like they were that bright. Yeah, right. So what happened is, I'm checking him out, right? And surprise. I then, like I said, I'm looking down at the footprints now. I look closer, right? And then I realize he's made a direct beeline towards me each day, getting closer and closer. He didn't zigzag over here and over there. No, he made a direct beeline right to where I stopped. He followed, right? Bing, bang, boom. Yeah. So I knew right there. I didn't quite notice it the first time. It caught my attention, but I was too busy keeping an eye on him. But the second time around, of course, right, when I came back and stopped at that section, got and dismounted my bike, right? And I was still straddling it, but I'm looking down, I see my prints, and I realized, and I looked at him, and I realized that it was a direct beeline. I said, holy fuck, this ass, sorry, pardon me. This prick is coming to get me. I didn't want to swear too much, right? But this guy, he's out to get me, right? Well, I already knew that, but he's planning to attack today, okay? It's like all or nothing. He's going for it. And you know what? That's what I realized, yeah, because I lined it up. I said, he's come directly. He didn't take a detour over here, over there. No, I already said that, but emphasizing it. He was coming for me, okay? And he was coming to get me today, right? And that's when I said, I got to do something right now. I'm not going to make it out of the section of woods, the clearing and to the exit. Okay, he's going to attack me. So the only thing I could do, what I did previously. Okay. But like I said, again, I'm looking, right? And I'm looking at his arms. I said, can he really grab me, and hold on to me or anything? I'm looking at his legs. How hard can he kick me? Can he scratch me? Can he rip me open? And instinctively, when I was looking towards those body parts, he pulled in that shoulder. He pulled in that leg, right? Oh yeah. But he never once tucked his head down. He always kept his head up for some strange reason. Even though I'm looking right at him, yeah, he kept staring right at me. And I same thing, right back at him. Okay? And not once did he try to hide that face or those eyes. Okay? That's when I realized, holy shit, I'm in trouble. I'm in here in the woods with him. There's nobody around. Okay? I got to get out of here right now. And I'm also getting a premonition. There's a second entity who's cloaked. I can't see him anywhere. He's cloaked really good, right? Like a supernatural entity, right? I'm assuming it's a dogman. I don't know for sure if it is or not. But I was getting the same sort of reading, like sensing like the same sort of entity because of the other one. I don't know, I was able to do that somehow. Right? I wasn't sensing something else. And plus I always thought, okay, if there's one, there's a second one. Where's the partner? I was thinking, like the fairy tale stories there, mother, the books are, mother, what do you call it? Granny Fox and Red Fox, the one with gray and hiding, and Red Fox was doing all the heavy lifting, the hard work. And Granny would scoop up the prize as he flushed out the game, dinner, whatever. I'm thinking the same thing from reading those, books from when I was a kid, right? And I'm like, holy smokes, it's got to be this guy's too young. Is there, you know what I mean? He doesn't have that killer instinct. So where's Granny Fox or whatever, Granny Dogman, Wolfman, right? Somebody else. I've sensed that entity. They're out there in the park somewhere. Okay. So anyways, back to the dogman who's now, like I said, there's only about 25, 30 feet separating us. Right? He's got his body parts tucked in, and I see him. He starts like, he's a bit agitated now, and I know he's getting ready to fucking spring. Okay, so what do? I do the same thing I did previously. I fucking get off my bike really quick and fucking pick it up and start fucking shaking it at him and screaming and yelling and making all big ruckus and, boom, boom, boom. And he's like, whoa. He's like, I gave him my own infrasound from yelling so loud. I scared him. He like shocked him. Like he didn't expect that. And then he realized all of a sudden he starts growling at me because he knows I fucked up his fucking surprise attack. Well, not as much of a surprise. Sorry. When I know what's going to happen. Right? But he was spraying, he was going to spring on me real quick. And I blew it for him, and he started growling and growling, showing me his teeth. He's getting really pissed off. And I'm like, I'm still yelling and whatever. And that as I fucking back away, I walk backwards with my bike. I keep my eyes on him till I'm almost out of the clearing. And then I dreaded, there was a small little section. All of a sudden, I get cut off from visual, but it's only about 5-10 feet to the clearing. Okay, so I make it out to the clearing. So I make it about 10 more feet, and then I sense, holy smokes! I look behind, I'm checking all my flanks. I'm looking. There's got there's two guys coming down the bike path, the path, right? Hold on. Two guys coming down the path here. Pathway. What's that? Glad you're on early today. Thank you. Yeah, I had to. I can't compete with the night crew. They're killing me every time. But anyways, so I'm getting ready. I hit the clearing. If I make it out alive, the guy didn't chase me. He didn't chase me out. That dogman, he didn't chase me out of the. After I surprised him again, it scared him off somehow, right? He wasn't prepared, but he knew what I did, right? And I was onto him. But like I said, I put on a big display of, you come near me, I'm going to hit you hard, right? So I told you, he didn't have that killer instinct. But I had to watch him from attack me and come in off the trail. I had to watch my flank, okay, in case he came around and hit me from behind. There were two guys coming down the bike path, right? And then all of a sudden, to my west, straight west there, it's like a portal opened up or something. All of a sudden, about 20 feet away from me, it's like all of a sudden I see something, but it's cloaked. All I see is the outline. Something just appeared, right? It wasn't there, right? All of a sudden it appeared. It's like a portal opened up or something, or they just appeared somehow, transported themselves. I don't know. But they just appeared 20 feet away from me. And I could see their outline. And they took 3 steps forward, right? A couple, through boom, boom, boom. Next thing they're only about 10 feet away. And then that's when I got hit. And each time they moved, I could see an outline. And it did look like a dogman. Okay? I could see the outline of a dogman. And that's when they got about 10 feet away. And that's when they hit me with that super loud wolf howl, right? From this creature, cloaked, invisible creature, supernatural. And boom! It was super long, intense howl, right? All right. Yeah. Hold on, Heather. I'm on. Yeah. It hit me hard, man. It was long. 10, 15 seconds long, the wolf howl. Right? And boom. It hit me hard. Right? Oh, it was like a foghorn going off. Okay? My body was reverberating. Oh, yeah. I'm cringing. It's fucking, I'm blasted, man. I'm blasted. Okay? Blasted, I tell you. Okay? I'm like, wow. All right. That is so intense. Right? And boom. I can't believe I'm still standing. All right. But I'm shooken up inside. It's like somebody took me and tumbled me in a fucking blender. It felt like they churned up my insides. Okay. Yeah. And so I'm like, I try and shake it off. I start walking towards the trail, the bike trail, the bike entrance, park entrance, whatever. Hold on. I got to catch my breath here. Every time I think about this, it freaks me out. How I survived that first one by myself with the 2 witnesses. See me get hit by that infrasound wolf howl. Yeah, triggered by the wolf howl. Oh, wow. That was really intense. Hold on. Sometimes, you know, I don't get that effect, but sometimes I do. I place myself close to the scene. Not right in it, but I still feel that. After all these years, yeah, I still feel the intensity of that infrasound. What it did to me. Right? I'll never forget that. You know, when I wasn't thinking about it, that was always on my mind. Right? Here and there. Right? As I make it, you know, I see these 2 guys coming down. and they look kind of strange. Right? Because they didn't yell out or anything after I got hit by that wolf howl. Until I got close to them and said, "Are you okay?" Right? They didn't say, "Hey, what the heck was that? What? You know, there's wolves here." No, they didn't do any of that. right? These guys were mysterious. And I had a mountain bike. It was a mountain bike trail. And there was huge boulders you had to cross to get to this park. And they had 10 speeds. And I'm like, these guys look out of place here, right? There's something funny going on here. But I didn't have time to think about all that. But I did, and I didn't. Okay, it was on my mind, right? But I'm still keeping an eye. Kept looking back, make sure nothing's charging up to get me, I said, where's that supernatural entity? After I got blasted. As I walked away, he didn't chase me or anything for some strange reason. I kept an eye, I walked back a certain way and I kept an eye where the sound emanated, the infrasound emanated from the wolf howl. I did not, I always had one eye on that, making sure nothing snuck up behind me as I made my way to the exit. And that, I tell you, and I had a small exchange of words with those, people, the two people on the bike path, entrance path there, pathway. Asked me if I was okay. I said, yeah, I'm hurting, but I'm okay. I said, and something. So they went about 10 feet or something, and then turned around. I can't remember right now. I have to check my notes. I got my mind boggled up. Sorry, on the encounter here. The wolf howl. And sometimes it does. It takes everything from you. Sometimes when you start thinking about it. Okay. And they turned back, right? And came back and said, can we walk with you? And I said, hey, wait up. And I said, sure. Okay. For some strange reason, they changed their mind. Okay. I don't blame them, right? There might be wolves in there or something, right? They heard it. They see what happened to me. And we start, I waited for them. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to push me down and try and get away if we get attacked. I'm going to get guinea pig here, sacrifice 2 against 1. I said, well, you got another thing coming. I'll fight back. All right. One of you is coming with me, at least. Right. But no. And then mysteriously, we got hit with a second one after, right? And that was incredible. Yeah, sure, Heather, go ahead. Do you have any coffee left or no?
No. Sorry.
Where's my water? Yeah. So we got hit with the second one, right? And I tell you, I was lucky those guys were there, right? There's more to this. I can only tell you so much. But we got hit with the second one, okay? And then we're lucky to make it out alive, okay? By the supernatural entity. We got slammed the second time with the infrasound. All of us, the second time, okay? Yeah. And it hurt, man. It hurt. It was real. I was feeling weird, man, after that. Like my body was like vibrating, man, big time vibration. I felt it all night when I went home until I woke up the next day, right? I felt it all night when I went home. It lasted for hours and hours. I was shooken up big time. You can say I was sort of in shock a bit. Okay, that's how bad it was, right? I went in shock somewhat. To get slammed really hard twice, right? But thank God those guys were there because that was 3 against 1. But it didn't matter. This thing didn't care. It didn't jump on. I was waiting for it to jump on us or something. But the damage was done. We all got shooken up big time, okay, by that infrasound, the wolf, triggered by the wolf howl, right? It was super loud, super intense. And it was a genuine wolf howl. There was no faking it or it sounded like a wolf. No, it was 100% true wolf howl. Okay. By a creature we couldn't see. I could only see its outline. Okay. Second time I seen it coming, I braced myself when it was up on the ridge, and it howled down at us. I thought it was going to jump us. Okay, but it didn't. Like I said, it was only 10 feet away from me the first time when it hit me with that. He could have easily jumped me, but that wasn't his intention. He hit me hard, man, like big time hard. He had me. He could have easily jumped me. I don't know why he didn't attack me. He attacked me with the infrasound.
You have your guardians too.
What?
You have your guardians.
The guardian angels there?
Yeah.
The two guys were the guardian angels, you say?
Probably.
Most likely, I think.
That's what I think too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they saved me. That's probably why they didn't attack me, because they were like a short distance to me. Okay, they could have ran over to help me. Right? Like I said, these creatures also worry about getting hurt. Okay, one way or another. Right?
They're not that big.
No. Well, yes and no. Sure they are, unless you've been there. No creature wants to get injured.
Of course not.
Right?
But
you also have to take that into consideration. But I don't understand why he could have easily charged me, bit me, scratched me after the infrasound, but he didn't do that. What? That's why I didn't understand. I still, to this day, I do not understand why he didn't take advantage after he slammed me with the infrasound. He had me before I shook it off. I was standing there stunned for about a minute or two. And then, I'm trying to shake it off. And then I continued with my journey. I couldn't believe what hit me, man. I was like, boom, boom, yeah. Boom, a second time. Yeah. Okay, it was crazy to get slammed that hard with this from a supernatural entity. I could just barely make his outline, only when he moved. When he wasn't moving, you could not even see him, barely. Just a very thin outline of the entity, right? And which I did see when he hit me with the wolf howl. That's how I knew it was a wolf, dogman, whatever. Okay, he looked just like one, whatever the shape of him, and I could make out the ears and whatever certain body features. Okay, I was mostly looking up at the head, but I did look at the body. But I seen the ears, pointy ears there, yeah, and then a wolf type head, but only the outline. I couldn't see the inner structures. I don't think. A slight, very, very, like maybe less than 5% detail, less. Okay, at any one time, and only when he moved. When he stood still, you could barely even see the outline of the entity, a thin outline. Yeah, to get hit with that, I'm like, wow. That was the first time I got hit with infrasound, I think. Right? Yeah, and that was a wolf howl. Most of the Sasquatch, and then later on I got hit with infrasound, several times. Okay, but that was the first time I noticed what infrasound. Before that, I never really had anything directed at me. That was the first time. I've heard vocalizations and that, but it was to each other. It was never like before the Sasquatch vocalizations a couple of times. And it was just to them. Nothing was ever aimed towards me. That was the first time. And it stunned me big time, right? To get to know that. Hold on, Heather. What's that? Terror never fades with time. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks. Terror never fades with time. Yeah, no, that lives with you forever. It's the same with those people who experience traumatic effects there during the wars or some other traumatic during their encounters too. The memory always lives with them. The terror, you really relive that. I had nightmares for about a month after that Dogman encounter. Right, I never went back. Okay, I didn't have anyone to go with. I couldn't tell anyone. Okay. And I didn't go back. It was too, I know I made it out after a second time. You know, like I said, I swore to attack a couple days earlier, and then again, I said, no, they're out to get me. I'm not, I don't know if I was foolish or just too curious, curiosity, gets the cat situation. So I didn't want to be a victim, but I just still wanted to know. I don't know. Like I said, I was lucky to be able to observe him for quite a bit of, time there, an hour while I was at the park that day, right? And directly at him for 5 to 10 minutes there each time I stopped on that one day, on that last day, right? I was trying to figure out, and forever the image of him is embedded in my mind, in my memory forever, of what he looked like and how he ran and that and the face and certain things, features, the eyes especially. Those green eyes were really freaky. I tell you, right? Really green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, bright green, right? And the way he looked, it's like he looked like he was patched together or something. But he did look like a real creature, right? But he didn't look right. Do you know what I mean? He had human-like legs almost, and human arms, but in a wolf shape. Okay, and I'm pretty sure I was the first person on the internet there when I told my story there, Monsters 911 a couple years ago with Lance Hightower. I was the first guy to present the forward-facing legs and arms and that of a dogman, wolfman, right? Creature with an actual wolf head. No one had done that. They always talked about the dog hunch type legs, the reverse, like a dog, what an actual dog has, right? These were actually human-like. And he said, no, you're the first one, Tom, right? After listening to hundreds of encounters and people talk to him and this and that, he said, you're the first guy I ever heard mention that. So, and now you hear it in the stories, creepypasta stories and this and that. People are not giving me credit, okay? Using my fucking, my story, my descriptions, certain things I've used, stuff, and not getting credit. Same with a few other things. I don't care if you use it, just say where you got it, right? You heard it here. Just like I mention other people's names where, if I have to use a reference and stuff or whatever, a photo or a sketch like behind me, okay? It's no big deal, right? Oh, yeah, I don't know. Before, it was more and more people gave you credit. Nowadays, no. Too many people want to take your stories and feed it into the AI machine, the bank there, and spit out stories and all your images and try and recreate what a Sasquatch looks like and stuff. Whether those images are right or wrong, I don't know. See, it's been a constant battle. All my stuff here is, you see, wherever I show a video and stuff, those are edited by me. They're not AI, whatever I see in the video or the photo or whatever, certain colors, experiments, 4D, looking for answers, we did a lot of research to get to where we are today. And it's important. A lot of people skipped all this, right? I remember when I first started, I didn't know hardly anything. Well, I was also learning how to use a computer and that. I had to apprentice with a couple researchers who were already doing that, whatever, right? Just to learn the ropes. Nowadays, people just come out and start podcasts like they're experts and that or whatever and just start doing about this and that. No, a lot of people had to go. I remember when we first started on the internet, there was like 4 or 5 of us under, a researcher when we were starting out. Yeah, 4 or 5 channels. And then the guy would do go on a live show or do an interview and mention some of the channels he had under his belt there, you know, right? And one guy complaining, "Oh, you hardly mentioned my name," and this and that. And then people started breaking away because they weren't getting their due diligence for their encounters, not getting claimed, like, you know. And the guy was also monetized, and he was making money off your channel and your encounters and stuff. Till YouTube then changed the rules and changed the structures of how you got paid and that. And they couldn't do that anymore, you know, feed off your channels. But they did when I first started back in 2016, 17. Oh, yeah, for sure, you know. And there was next to no live shows back then, okay? Right? So, and if you were even ready to go on live and talk about your stuff, right? It took me out years. And I had to also battle illness a couple times, right? And that, and so I finally made it on, and that, and slowly getting better, talking about certain things, and that. Hopefully, we get to accomplish, you know, our goals, right? I try not to swear. I've been banned at 164 countries. I remember beginning of season 4, I was just fuming. I'm doing better now, right? So thank you, everyone who comes on here. And this was I've been meaning to talk about this part for a while. I, you know, trying to get it down into my book here. There's a few extra parts, you know, and certain things, scenes, and certain things that, you know, I gave you about 80%, 75, 80% of the story here of what happened, you know. It'll be close to what I write. So I've been meaning to do this for a while, a couple episodes. And I've been on here where some nights, boom, it just hits me, you know, it just everything, you know, not just this dog, but multiple encounters. It just piles up. I couldn't separate them. Okay. And only concentrate on one or two. And it's like they were all hitting me, all coming onto you. You're all thinking about 10, 15 different things at once. It was overwhelming. I just shut down, just sat here doing nothing. Couldn't even talk. I just showed videos. And it happened more than once. You never know, you know, when you experience real things up close, not from inside your car. I have too from my car, but in standing there in person, right? That your life was at risk. Okay, really at risk. You know, you've been attacked one way or another. Okay, PTSD. You don't know when it's going to hit. You know, it can hit anytime. You know, imagine you're at a function, at a conference somewhere. You got to talk, and all of a sudden, boom, you freeze up, and it happens to a lot of people when they talk about certain things. You know, it gets to them, right? And it's hard. You know, sometimes you got to override that. Like I said, when you put yourself in the scene, you know, too, like you're reliving the scene. You're getting minute details, right? That can trigger the PTSD big time. Like I said, I had nightmares for about a month after that. All right, before they started going away. At least for a month, they were intense. Not every night, but at least 3 or 4 times a week. The nightmares were there. Okay, and you're reliving certain things. You're seeing certain things, strange dreams. Yeah, you're screaming in your dream, and that sometimes. Yeah, that happens. It's true. It can happen. It will happen. Right? If you have a terrifying experience, for sure. What else can I say? Right? I'm really grateful for everyone who's on here watching, right? And commenting, especially you, Sharon. You know,
Hey, Sharon.
right? AKA Lake Superior Skywatch. Sharon Searly. Yeah. From the Upper Peninsula, Michigan. Right on. Cool. I'm so glad that's why I did an early show. I have people that watch, you know, early, other people, you know, later afternoon. I try to do different time slots so I can get, you know, different friends. one or two friends is more important to me, talk to than anyone else, because you communicate on a regular basis, and it's good because everyone has experienced something, right? Like, I've had some people, friends on here come on and tell me, like, surprise me with their encounters, right? I wasn't expecting it, and it's like, wow, right? And you never know, and people who know for years, it's like I said, everyone has some kind of experience. Like I think a lot more people have experiences. Like I said, over a lifetime, you might have about 3 or 4 experiences, right? One every decade. I say that you're going to see something, whether it's land or sky. I've seen sky phenomena where, I wish I had a camera in my car, to take that picture of something you're seeing in the sky. You're not going to remember it, in 5-10 years. Okay. You're going to remember part of it. 20 years later, 30, it's gone. That you just remember seeing something a couple of times, right? Or some kind of phenomena, light phenomena. Only once or twice did I ever have a camera that I was able to, I'm talking about just like a Kodak type camera, the old style, to take a picture. Now, where those photos went, who knows? They're long gone. I moved so many times. They're gone. I don't have anything from my past. Next to nothing. Yeah. I have had to move a dozen times at least, or more. Just in the last while, whatever, till recently, been stable, but now everything's in bags and boxes. You don't know what photo you're going to find or whatever. Right on. Thank you. Throw together a casserole. Right on. That's what I do sometimes, right? When I'm cooking or whatever, doing other things, cleaning up, I listen to stories and encounters. Thank you. I really appreciate you coming on here today on the channel. And it made my day. And Miss Heather says thank you too. Right, Heather? Yeah. Okay. Double thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. We greatly appreciate you coming on here and watching. I purposely come on early, hoping to get someone, one of my friends here to watch, and that not everyone could do the midnight shift or late shift, right? So, anyways, I'm starting to lose my voice here, right? Whenever I start talking about certain things, it gets to you. I think 420 cheers, right? 420 cheers. That gets it too. All right. I can't talk much more. I'm losing it. Cool. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And everyone else watching, right on. Cool. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I love your videos, man. They're amazing. Right on. Okay, I got to get off here before I lose my voice completely. Thank you so much, friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you.